Hey, what's going on out there, YouTube?
What up, YouTube?
SCL0320.
Yeah, Joe Johnson.
Yeah, we
030.
We're back at it again for a brand new review. We just got back from the movie seeing The Maze Runner. We had no expectations of this movie at all. I seen like maybe one trailer. How many you seen? Like one probably?
Yeah, I just seen one.
And we had no idea if this was based on the book. I knew I heard the name, it sounded familiar to me, but we had very low expectations going into the movie, but it actually really surprised us in a lot of different ways, which we're going to go over really quickly for you. Off the gate, the visual effects for this movie, the scope of it and the way that they designed the maze is really well done. Because, I mean, when you actually seeing the main characters, which we'll describe a little bit later on, you first meet and see them on just a regular plane where you think like, okay, this is just a normal wooden area, like maybe somewhere rural like the North Carolinas or even maybe further south, and you're just like, whoa, this is surrounded by all these places walls, and this the scope of it is really deep. But when you actually see the maze actually open up, that's when stuff just starts going crazy. Like, what did you think of, like, I guess the visual effects as far as the way the design of the maze itself, I guess?
It doesn't miss a beat, man. Like, it doesn't miss a beat as far as when you're into the movie, you're watching it, like you're into it, you're engaged. There's nothing visually that takes away from the movie itself, away from the plot, away from actually what's going on with the movie. It's one thing I really enjoyed about this movie is how you can literally watch the movie and just the way it looks visually is like a different, totally different world. Just not anything too where you'll be like, oh man, I cannot comprehend what's going on.
It wasn't too science fiction,
right? It wasn't too science fiction-y, but at the same time, it was engaging all the way through.
Yeah, I agree with that, because there were times on the cinematic, just how they did the cinematography for this, it was really professionally done. There were certain subtle moments when you see the main character Thomas for the very first time, like just that opening shot, it kind of built like a level of anxiety like you never thought really would kind of take place in this. And then just like certain panned out moments, just certain moments of how they shot it, it was really well done. Whoever the cinematographer was did a great job for this. There wasn't too much of a big score for it, but the tone of it fit the mold of it. It was basically kind of sometimes silent, and sometimes it was just like a lot of things that just would not skip the beat. So let's go ahead into the acting. What did you think of the acting for this?
Oh man, acting was definitely good.
Yeah, it surprised me.
Yeah. It's very good.
I was like, I didn't even know who these people were. We've got a listing of the actors here, but before we even go into that, let me read a synopsis of the movie a little bit for you. So Thomas is deposited in a community of boys after his complete memory is erased, soon learning they're all trapped in a maze that will require them to join forces with fellow runners for a spot to possibly escape the maze, thus the Maze Runner. But you've got certain actors in this one. Dylan O'Brien, who, if anybody's seen Teen Wolf, he plays the main actor, Thomas. You've got Kaya, I can't pronounce her last name, but she plays the role of Teresa. Will Poulter, if any of y'all seen like Son of Rambow, that was one of his first starts in there. He's actually a pretty good actor. He plays the role of Gally. Thomas Brodie-Sangster, ooh, he plays Nanny McPhee. That's the little boy from Nanny McPhee.
Yeah.
He plays the role of Newt. And then you've got Amy Amon, who plays the role of Albie. Then you got one last person, which I would say is actually pretty cool. Ki Wong Lee, he plays Minho. So most of these actors, they're not well known at all. Most of them really aren't. But they act their butt off in the roles and the characters that are put in. What about the plot? I mean, not the plot, the characters.
Well, I mean, kind of like what you mentioned as far as like the characters going, you have different diverse character traits. One thing that really stuck out is how each character had their own set of strengths. Each character has their own set of strengths, and one of the actual we see Thomas, I know one of his strengths is actually utilizing other people's strengths. That makes him, you know what I'm saying, I think it makes him a good leader as well.
Yeah.
So the acting was definitely good. You definitely get immersed in the story by the characters and the actors' roles in their playing.
Yeah, and each character, they go through an evolutionary process in the sense that they're introduced in different ways. Like the character Teresa, you don't see her later on, but she plays an intricate role. Even in the characters that you know that are leaders, they're holding back certain things. And the way that these people, these young actors are doing such a good job of is keeping you immersed and interested. I thought that there were a lot of times looking at this, that this could be a TV show. Like I just looked at part of a TV show and then they could have cut and then went on. It was that good of a quality, you know what I'm saying? And maybe that's just because TV shows have upped the game. I mean, Dylan O'Brien, I had respect for him from Teen Wolf. Joe hasn't seen Teen Wolf, but I knew he had the comedic ideals of being a good actor, but I did not know that he could be like an action star. So I really liked the acting in this one as well. Going into the story, it was very well done. It felt like it was, I guess, interwoven from it is from a novel. It is a novel, I guess. What we found out at the end of the movie is the Maze Runner is a novel. But the way that these characters, it kind of felt like The Lord of the Flies meets kind of like Hunger Games, but it was so much more serious because these characters are dealing with real world stuff. It's not too over the top because, I mean, you've got certain creatures that are actually in the maze called the Grievers. And that's the only thing I can really give away to you, because when you get into the maze, the actual maze, not where they're at, like you realize there are dangers so many places because the maze shifts and changes every 5 seconds. And these Grievers, like they have one mission, and that's just to kill anything that's inside. And anybody that stays overnight, they're gone, no matter what. And so each one of these characters, the main leaders, they have levels of fear and paranoia that puts them and perpetuates them into their characters. Some that are the runners, they're doing anything they can to get people out. And then people like Gally that are literally enforcers, but they just are stuck in the mode of, okay, this is our reality, we're stuck in this moment, and there's nothing we can do about it. And I just love how the plot just centers around when one person, like Thomas, is put in an uncomfortable situation that you would never expect to happen, and he literally breaks them out of their mode and breaks up their whole mentality of how they're going to live just from his presence being there. And it is really well done, and that's why I love the acting for his character. But I don't want to talk about too much of the plot because this is so crazy. Well, what did you feel about the plot? Let me get something.
The plots were real good, man. Like, as far as to put the plot in a nutshell without spoiling any details, it's actually really good. I mean, from the start of the movie, you're kind of thrown into the midst of the movie. Just starts right away, like you're in it. The movie starts, and you know what I'm saying. You start with you know, the character Thomas, you know what I'm saying, and how he's you know, thrown into this world of the maze. It starts right there, and also, you know, you see that the guys who actually has been in the maze, you know, living for a while, they have a system going where they're living, got community. And Thomas, you know, ever since Thomas gets there, everything's, it's like the system's gonna be shaken. Things will start gonna change, and it's like it's pretty pretty crazy for everybody at this point because things are not gonna be the same anymore.
Yeah, so and I think
really interesting.
That goes to the question, like, anything that seems like a good thing is not always a good thing. Just because, like, you seem like it might be a peaceful situation doesn't mean maybe you might be enslaved, and you just, in your mind, you're like, okay, this is what we can do to survive. And I think that Thomas's psychological profile is like, look, I go outside the norm, and what I'm looking at is we're stuck here, and there should be a better way of this. And sometimes it takes like an outside perspective to get you out of your rut. You know, you would never go because you feel comfortable in your ways. That's for anything. And so I think that it makes you think as a reader, if you're reading the book, or a viewer, that like, wow, this is some deep underlying stuff that's really in the core meat of it with each one of the characters. Like anybody could go through anybody can go through the circumstance they go through and maybe have the same exact result. But the biggest draw between me and Joe is that we were going to comparing, like looking at the first Hunger Games compared to this, and just the depth of how this revolved around itself and how it closed out. I'm more anticipating a sequel for this one than I was when I first looked at Hunger Games, the first one. Now, Hunger Games 2, that's a whole different story. But this one, I really love this as a starter. I hope that this actually goes and evolves into a good franchise. Like, what did you think about, like, just...
Man, I'm definitely excited. Hopefully, definitely excited for that second movie. Whether they're doing it or not, I'm already excited for it. But yeah, it's definitely a good movie. I would definitely recommend checking it out.
Yeah.
It has a great plot. Great plot. Great plot. Great plot. I cannot say it too many times. But,
yeah.
Definitely check it out, man. Watch it.
Oh, there's one scene that I want to talk about. I'm not going to go into detail of it, but two of the main characters are stuck in the maze, and they're trying their best to make it out loud because something goes completely wrong that they don't expect, and just the visuals for it, and then just the anxiety that they're being put through, being stuck in there. I was like on the edge of myself. I was like looking like, oh snap, what are they gonna do? And it was just a great scene. It was really rich. I won't forget it. And that's what good movies are about. Like, bring you to the forefront. You don't expect this to be a good movie, and you getting like surprised with something special. You know what I'm saying? And that was The Maze Runner. We really enjoyed it. If I could give it a rating, I'd probably give it a B. I wouldn't give it a B minus. I wouldn't give it a B plus. I would definitely give it a B. If I had to go on just the acting and the surprise of all these different young actors that brought to the forefront, I would give you a higher grade than that. But I can't go on just that. But yeah, I am highly anticipating the next one. What about you? As far as all around, what would you give it?
All around, man, I really enjoyed it. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Like I said, one of the best plots I've viewed in a while. See, it's a good movie, man. It's a really good movie. I really enjoy this movie. I definitely recommend you guys come out, go out and see it. As you said in the trailer, I had, you know what I'm saying, I thought the movie was going to be interesting. It exceeded my expectations, which was very good. Exceeded my expectations.
What grade did you give it?
What grade I give it?
Yeah.
I don't know, I really couldn't give it a grade, but I really enjoyed it.
He's on the fence. He's an A and a B at the same time.
I really enjoyed it.
But yeah,
you guys check it out. You guys grade it for me. Yeah, I'm challenging you guys to do that.
Put a grade right for love, Joe said. Nah, just joking. If you liked our review for this, please leave a like below. Definitely in the comment section, please give us your open-ended conversation about it. If you've seen the movie, definitely we want to talk about it with you. And if you read the book, definitely don't spoil anything because we don't want to know what's going to happen next. We want to be fully immersed into it because I might actually read the books now if there is a book series. But yeah, definitely I really enjoyed this movie. And look for us to do a couple more videos coming up pretty soon. We got some really good scenes that we actually finished for the movie that we're working on. I just got this baby right here. Ooh,
what is that?
This
what
is
is that?
iPhone 6. I'm gonna probably do a open box review for it, so y'all can kind of see what's on the inside of it, and then I might probably go and do a review after that. But yeah, so look for a couple things coming up soon. Everybody, good night. We gotta go to sleep. Deuces.